Hi guys, so for my mathematical landscape, I've chosen this rustic church because it closely relates to a piece of my identity, and it is, like I said, a rustic church, and I feel like it's closely related to me because I spent a lot of time here, and I feel like a lot of my development linguistically and mathematically were acquired in church settings or like religious settings, so I've chosen this to document my. So for the mathematical landscape, I will be focusing on, adding up, counting backwards, cardinality, compensation, counting on, magnitude, one-to-one tagging, relationship between addition and subtraction. Hi guys, so for the first one, adding on or adding up, it reminds me of when my CT would take attendance. She would ask the helper the day how many boys there were. So once the child counted how many boys, they would add on how many girls there were, and then they would get the total of friends that were there then. So for the second vocabulary, I'm doing counting backwards. It reminds me of the time where I saw one of the childs named Hudson doing the monkey bars, and every time he continued, he would count down from 5 all the way to 0, and I thought it was very interesting the way he understood the concept of counting backwards while playing in the playground and doing. So for the third one, I'm doing cardinality, and this reminds me to the time that my CT added 3 more buttons on the table that already had 5, and then the child guessed how many were on the table. So she connected the objects to an idea that what a number. So for the fourth one is compensation. It reminds me of the time that I asked a child how he was able to identify a number, and it was 28, and he said he first made it look like a 20, and then in his head he counted 8 more. So for the fifth one, I did counting on, and it reminds me of the time that my CT asked about how many friends were missing. So Jaden decided, took the initiative to count all his friends there, and then he said, well, we usually have 12, so there were 10, I believe, that day, and then he said 10, 11, 12, and then he said, oh, 2 friends are. It's an interesting time that I saw magnitude being used in the preschool setting. It was when a child was playing with magnetic blocks, and she compared them to her hands, and if it was smaller, she would say, it's a small magnet block. If it was larger than her hand, she would she would call it as a large magnetic block. For this one, the one-to-one tagging, I remember this being displayed in the preschool setting when a child took out sticks from a basket, placed them one to one on the table, and counted all the way to 67. And lastly, for number 8, it's the relationship between addition and subtraction. Is when a child was taking or doing attendance with my CT, and she remembered that there was 12 students, and the teacher asked how many students are missing. She counted how many were there, and then she added to the total that she knew were supposed to be there. So at that moment, I said, wow, it's amazing. She understands. And lastly, I'd like to thank you guys for watching my video. I appreciate you guys taking the time and understanding my mathematical landscape being portrayed in my site placement. So thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a good one, and thank you again.